For the last couple months, we've started building our dream workshop here on our 5-acre property using a pole barn kit we bought online and doing it all ourselves.
This video is from hours and hours of content, so if you want to see more, that playlist will be linked down below.
Hope you guys enjoy.
Oh boy, do we have a lot of work to do this week.
Well guys, we rented an excavator, and that can only mean one thing. We got our permit approved for the new location of our pole barn workshop, which is going right here, but obviously a lot of trees in the way. We're gonna see how much of those trees we can get down with this excavator that we rented.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it might take a little longer than expected, but I'm just getting warmed up, you know? I would be lying if I didn't say that this one makes me a little bit nervous. It is really big. It's already leaning a little bit in the wrong direction, and I don't have great access around it. The only thing we have going in our favor right now is the wind for the first time over the last 2 days is blowing in the right direction. So, I don't know, it definitely makes me nervous though. I'm gonna take my time, and you help me by keeping an eye on the top of the tree. Well, that took like 3 hours. Kind of crazy, huh?
That's a big hole.
So to start with the layout of this building, the first thing we need to do is establish a line that matters. And in this instance, the line that matters is with the house. So we pulled the string line across here, which basically establishes a line that is parallel to the house. Then we set our front corner here. And once that front corner is set where we want it, then all we're doing is pulling two tape measures, one perpendicular and one on a diagonal. And the intersection of those, using the Pythagorean theorem, tells us what the two measurements should be and where they should line up on the tape measures and meet each other. Well folks, it's day 2. We got our post in the ground, we got rebar drilled through the bottom so that helps us with our uplift, and now we've got to see how hard it's going to be to manhandle these 16-foot 6x6s that are soaking wet. One thing we're doing before we put these posts in the ground is we're figuring out which way the bow is, or the crown, and basically placing that in the most desirable spot before we put it in the ground. Hey guys, I just want to remind you that you have until the end of September to take advantage of iFixit's 20% off iPhone battery and screen repair kits. Okay, it's super worth repairing your old phone instead of buying new, even though there's a brand new iPhone out and we all kind of want one. I, for one, am still rocking an iPhone 11, not Pro, not anything like that, an 11. I know I'm an old man, but I've been keeping this thing going using parts and tools from iFixit, and they have super affordable screen and battery repair kits that again are 20% off from now until the end of September. So if you've got an old phone kicking around and maybe you got a cracked screen or something, now's your chance. Get a hold of one of those repair kits. Super easy to do, and iFixit is a great company fighting for yours and I's right to repair. So check the links in the description below to iFixit's sale, and let's get back into the video. Dead nut. Dead nuts. Dead nuts. Look at that. Just come look at, when I say dead nuts, I mean dead nuts. Dead nuts.
Last batch.
Yep. Last big batch. I mean, it's like the last batch. It's like another friggin' 5,000 pounds of concrete. This thing's basically cheating. Well, folks, it's truss day, and this is what makes these types of pole barns so unique and so interesting. You won't see these many places that have heavy snow loads because that's just not what they're designed for. But in places like where we live, these things are incredible. We have like 12-foot post spacing, which is insane. Two of these get bolted together to make our truss, and then in theory we just set them up there and bolt them in. And then you got 2x6s that attach into these cups right here, and that'll be our purlins that our roof attaches to. Wheeling and dealing right there. there's a will, folks, there's a way. That's gonna be a tall building. Holy moly. So now what we need to do is I need to shimmy along the top of this building while Pops is in the man lift down here on the end, and we're gonna pop lines down the center of each bay, and that'll give us a line to put our blocking on, because we decided we're gonna put blocking in between each of these purlins, which is not necessary, but it's gonna make sure our boards are nice and straight, make running metal a lot easier. So it's worthwhile doing. It's also gonna add a lot of strength. The time has come to square the roof up. It's super important that the roof is square, because when we start running this metal, if it is not square over 48 feet, we are going to start seeing some issues quickly. We're going to use the old Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to use a string we're going to pull a tape all the way from the top left corner to the bottom right corner, and that diagonal should equal a squared plus b squared. Think it's going to be square?
Hope so.
We're looking for 54, 3, and 15/16. Oh, and he's burning a foot, so it's 55 feet. And we're just going to call that 4 inches, okay? 55 feet and 4 inches. About 1/4 of an inch, Pops. That's pretty darn square. That's pretty daggum good. Big day, Molly. Solid before lunch, whatever you want to call it, go at the metal. Time to check square on the other side. Well, I mean, we're pretty much there. We're within an 1/8. I think we need to get the 1/8 out of it, Pops. One of the things we've been doing is replacing all these outside screws with some flatter screws so that our fascia doesn't bubble out and hit those roofing screws. Well, I'm loaded down with screws, and I got a little time this afternoon to work on screwing down these panels. I'm fighting the rain, but just see what we can get done. Molly, will you get us another roll of that beetle tape out of the box? Alright folks, we have just 5 pieces left on this entire metal roof. So let's get on the man lift and start knocking these out so we can finally finish up this entire roof system. All right, folks, here we go. The very last piece going on the pole barn roof. There we go, folks. Very last piece installed. Man, that feels good to have this entire roof done.